Hello. I just realized I didn't upload my episode for today for my Bushcrafty. I
Oh
thought I
no,
did.
man! You the main person that stays on top of this more than anybody else. You get on to me when I don't do something. I read a
Well, I think I got occupied with the banjo is what did it because I was.
that was
Wait a minute, did I put it up there or not? I don't know. I don't even know if I put it up there or not.
uh,
Let me switch it real quick.
all right. Hey, it's 31 days in the month.
Yep, Halloweeny. Yep,
Well,
I forgot to put it up there. Dang it.
uh, don't forget to put your banner up if you're going to have one.
Shouldn't have to. We'll wait for the 15-minute mark.
Uh,
But we go ahead and say hi to everybody. Well, first of all, say hi to WTF
what the?
because I think he
Okay.
said that they don't chat during the live, but I wanted to say hi anyway. So um, we got B Charmin, What Live, Susie D, Autumn Leaf, Dana B, got Trust over here eating his
Curd pie.
well, I was gonna say pumpkin spice Frito pie.
Yeah,
Um,
who was it? TH2 had something for me in the back room. It was pumpkin spice.
we got Terry. Oh, here comes the bot.
I saw a cartoon thing on Facebook today. It
Hey,
was
prepper chick in Texas.
really, huh? It was an elderly couple. Woman was standing up saying, "I'm losing my mind." And her husband was sitting in a chair saying, "Well, you've been giving me a piece of your mind for the last 40 years. It's about time you losing it."
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Robert, how's it going? We got Larry's in here too. But once we get started here, um, I'd sitting there looking at. I really don't think I have you know uh, what is it? Earl Scruggs
yeah.
banjo.
Well, it's going to be
That
a
would
one
be
in 100.
that would be one heck of one because one
Yeah.
that they've got a value on it is $500,000. So I don't think
Uh-huh.
that would be interesting though.
Damn, Trust, you know how to turn somebody's stomach right off the bat, don't you? Cabbage rolled spam with pumpkin spice fries.
Oh,
Yeah, uh-huh.
ugh.
But
I
then
don't know
again,
about that. Yeah,
you could
I
have
mean,
spam fries.
yeah, I, I'd eat the spam and cabbage, but I don't. I'd have to fry it up first.
Yeah.
Fry up half of the grease and salt from that thing.
Yeah, and you better go ahead and get your loaf of bread, get stocked up on it quick. You know, if you got room in the freezer, uh, put you about 4 or 5 loaves up in there. Because Bushcraft said it's going to get
Yeah,
mighty pricey in the road.
yep. And
It's
I don't.
about
And October is not a what they call a wet month for Mississippi, and I'm not talking about the state, the river. Even though there's floods and stuff around that area, where's the water going? And that's the whole mystery, is where is the Mississippi going?
They flooding tunnels out. That's what they're doing.
I don't know. It's quite strange.
I mean, my God, how many gallons of water you figure is in the mighty Mississippi?
Yeah.
Hello, Grape Jams.
Hey, Grape Jams, how's it going?
Hey, wait a minute. Before we get started, give us an update. How's Miss Bunky doing? Has she done started aggravating everybody yet?
Yeah, I'm sure she's still spunky. Yeah, I don't know. I got volunteered to be in a collaboration for sourdough. I don't know why somebody wants me to be in a sourdough collaboration when my last one I did failed, but I did it on my own way, and I actually made sourdough quite easily. So and the only way I've ever cooked sourdough bread is in a cast iron Dutch oven. I've never baked a sourdough loaf in the open. I've always done it in a Dutch oven.
I love some good fried bread. Bill.
Oh yeah, Indian bread. Oh yeah, I love some Indian bread. And I've had bread cooked because I got when I lived in Arizona, I had a friend and Navajo that invited me out to the reservation, and his grandmother sat right there and baked. Well, I don't know it's baked, but cooked it right on a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Laid the big old stone was set next to the fire, and she plopped it on there, and some of the best bread ever.
Well, now my friend, his wife was Indian, and I cannot remember what set she was with, but about once a month we'd go over there and play cards, and not once a month. Hold it, we'd go over there every weekend to play cards, and once a month she would do fried bread because I requested it. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's when I had good teeth. But I mean, if you've never had it, it's kind of hard to explain.
And it's not like the stuff you get the carnival where they the funnel cake things.
Oh no,
it's nothing like that.
But she had grease in the cast iron frying pan. She'd do her dough up, and then she would lay it in there. And a couple of minutes, she'd be pulling it out, and it's done. I don't know what type of flour she used or anything else. She just pulled a canister down, which had flour in it, and she would put, I want to say half and half of whipping cream. Now, I may be wrong with that, but it wasn't like regular milk. I'll put it to you like that. Damn.
I found out what my mistake was whenever I made my sourdough. Well, first of all, there was a mistake in the book because we followed the book. Me and the needy homesteader, we followed the book, and the book had a typo, so we were messed up at the beginning. So, but my mistake it was I used tap water. That's a big no. You got
Really?
to use distilled water or something like that. And soon as I did it on my own, I put that in there, and the next day it rose just a little bit, and then I fed it, and then I came back and it was whoosh, almost out the top of it. And I did find another trick too, because they tell you just to cover it up with a cloth or something like that. I had one person tell me to put a piece of plastic or plastic bag or something and then cover it up. And you don't get that hard film at the top that you have to scoop out of there because it doesn't dry out, and it still works.
See, the bad thing about this, my family never made bread. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I would not, I mean, unless I watched the video step by step, the only type of bread I could make would be hoe cake or a biscuit. That's it,
Yeah.
you know. And oh yeah, I still got to do that video.
Hey, Joe Carroll, how's it going? Yeah, that's the thing. It's some little tricks. The little tips that you get. Those are the ones that you want. And I'm even though I failed on that first one that I did um, on camera too, I still learned some stuff off of it.
What life? Yes,
Hey,
I have,
hey, White Rock, how's it going?
and it's
Good to
better
see you.
than buttermilk.
We got TJ Cats in here. Buttermilk.
Hey, you still ain't done that challenge.
I ain't doing no buttermilk challenge. I'll
Come
cook with
on
it, but
now.
I'm not drinking it.
Well, it's better than doing the raw spam challenge. Hell, I ain't doing that one. I'm sorry. You feed me some spam, it better be fried.
You know. Well, they've got a recipe for air fryer where you air fry the spam into little French fry looking things. I may
I've
try
seen
that
that.
because I do have some spam, and because I was going to trick Bigfoot. I was telling him the only bait I got was spam when we go fishing. But oh yeah, sopapillas. Oh yeah, I love them. I could eat a basket of them. All you need is some honey.
Let me-
Um,
Lake Fairy has appeared.
Lake Fairy has appeared.
oh yeah, I said it to where I don't hear it anymore. Only you guys do.
Whoa, wait a minute. She was giving us an update on that little girl that went missing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hold
they
on.
found,
Hold on. Okay. 15 minutes
okay,
is over.
oh, have we passed it yet?
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Okay. They found Charlotte at SPAC at Saratoga Performing Arts Center. I think that's right. Where they hold concerts. She is alive and in good health. Oddly, Bigfoot worked there all day today. Lots of
Oh
wood
wow.
there.
Huh.
So Good.
Yeah. Hopefully she just, wandered off and there was no other stuff involved.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today's subject is I kind of wanted to go over some scenarios, and I want chat to be involved in this. Oh, they did make an arrest. Oh, that's bad.
Really? What
I
in
hope,
the weeds?
hope nothing was done. But like I said, I want to do scenario type things, and the subject is shift. And there's different forms of this, and I want chat to be involved in what you would do in your own circumstance, and it could be different from anybody else's because we have different family members, or we may be alone, things like that. So everybody has their own little their own story kind of way. So like I said, there are many different scenarios. One that I wanted to go over is kind of true for nowadays and stuff like this. It's a normal day like any other day, and it hasn't rained for a couple months, and fire does break out. And this, it's sad, but your house is in the path of this fire, and it is coming close. Now, this is for everybody. I want everybody to do this. You got about 5 minutes to get out of your house and head a direction. And what will you do with that 5 minutes? What are you going to do? And I'll go to Jeff. He's my first guinea pig here.
Now, first of all, are we going to be on foot? Or are we going to be in a vehicle?
That's the thing. It's your scenario. All you know right now is there's a fire that's 5 minutes, and you have 5 minutes to get what you have to get and get out. And then you have to explain how you're getting out of there, and where you're going to go.
Well, now, right now, I've already got my vehicles. I've just sat there and thought about it. I have a van and I have a pickup truck. All right. And everything I've got is either in my backpack or I've got them in tubs already ready to roll, even right down to the food. I got 5 minutes. You're going to need a shelter. You're going to need fire. You're going to need food. And you definitely going to need water. While I'm getting up one set of stuff, the wife's getting up the other set of stuff. I'm going to back, let's say, the truck up to the door, and we're going to be slinging the stuff in the bed of them as much as we can. And plus water, because you're going to need that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we gone.
Where are you going to go, though?
It depends on the way that the fire is coming at us. If it's coming at us from the north down.
Well, that's where it comes into your area, because, everybody's wind goes a certain direction normally, and unless there's a freak storm like, a hurricane or something. Where does your winds come from?
It comes from the west to the east.
Okay. So So you would have to make sure you head east as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, I'd call my family up and say, look, let's meet somewhere at the coast at a certain spot. I'm not going to say the spot.
Oh yeah. I don't want anybody to give out any locations or anything. It's just,
Yeah. But that's where we would meet at.
Yeah.
And we right there on the water. So if it got too close, dude, we heading on out into the water, But you also got to remember, if it's a big fire, that fire is going to be moving fast.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be what do you call it? Little sparks of fire flying ahead of it.
Yeah.
You've got to stay ahead of it in order not to get sparked up, because with the stuff I'm going to have on the bed of the truck, it's going to be easy to catch on fire.
Yeah.
And if you stop to put it out, you're gone.
Yeah. And that's a good point right there, because a lot of people would freak out and say, oh no, my tent's going to catch on fire, or my clothes, and stop. And then that's when a lot of people are not seen anymore.
But it's also like this.
Bonnie brings up a good one too. Not only do you need your stuff, but a folder, that has
documents
and stuff. Yeah.
That I have not thought about. I don't have nothing like that. The only thing that we have that is of any value is in the family Bible.
Yeah.
Birth certificates, marriage license, insurance papers, and so forth.
You may think about getting what they call a hot box. Now, these are not guaranteed that it's going to save everything that's inside those, but there are some that will withstand your house coming down and burning on it. Then you go in and find it, and your stuff is safe. But there are some of these hot boxes or safes that it doesn't matter if they get hot enough, whatever's inside is going to turn to charcoal anyway.
Now, depending on the box itself, is going to depend on how much money you got to put into one.
Yeah.
You may have some at $20, and then again, you can have an excellent one. It's going to be what, a couple of $100. Dude, I don't have a couple of $100.
Well, I've actually seen those being made, and that involves that thing's not going anywhere either. It's part of the foundation, basically. It's trash can. Well, 2 trash cans, one bigger than other one, and you fill one up with the outer one with cement, and then you have the inner one, and then you make the lid and all that stuff. But yeah,
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I've seen them made, but I don't know how well they are, because you have to get the fireproof insulation to line it to, and a bunch of different things. Yeah.
Well, now if you really want to get right down to it, and I didn't think about this until this got brought up, get you a kind of like a small metal can, that's going to hold everything. Dig a hole and put it in there, because the fire is going to be above the ground.
This thing right here, you can have all your documents, all your pictures, everything on it, and you can have it on your keychain. So if you're going to take your vehicle, it's coming with you.
Yeah,
you can make copies of that, and you can hide it, you know, in the woods. You can hide it. You can give it to your family members that you trust. Different things, you know, because nowadays this is a 32 gig, and I can buy it for $12. You probably don't need that much, but yeah, it's really good to have.
but if that fire catches up to you, it ain't gonna do you no good anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hello, Pappy Two Bears. But I mean, I reckon to each their own. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
like,
what I said. It depends on, like, if you're by yourself, you won't have somebody, you know, like you backing your truck up. So you have to back your vehicle up and you have to load it yourself. So that cuts down a lot of time. So you won't be able to get all that stuff unless you're already prepared for that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. And again, it could be somebody with little kids. You have to, you know, sometimes little kids don't react the way, you know, calmly, and they panic and stuff. Well, people do that too, but that's what's good about thinking of these, and then you can actually have drills.
Yeah.
And do this, and then you can do it with your family members that are not living with you. Say, hey, if things happen, you meet at this location, and stay there for so many days, and if we don't show up, we didn't make it, you know.
Yeah. Well, now, see, you also mentioned something also, okay? Do drills. You know, do drills, because you can sit here and you can say, you know, I'm calm. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. But yet, when it comes right down to it, I about bet you'll be the first one to panic. I've seen it too many times.
Oh yeah.
Not this scenario, but
yeah,
something similar to this.
Yeah. And this is just the fire one. I've got a few more of these. So and the next one being something not far fetched or anything, because say there's all of a sudden EMP. Now you're not going to hear, you know, FEMA with their warning telling you there's a EMP. There was an EMP attack, because you're not going to have anything that's going to give you this warning, because everything's going to be off or shorted out, rather. There may be, you know, an automated warning saying something happened to go to the major city or something like that. But say you and your family, or like I said, if you're by yourself, you're sitting home and all of a sudden power goes out. You don't know why, but there's been an EMP attack somewhere and the whole grid goes down. You don't know anything. All you know is the power is out. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to go out there, see if the vehicles will start. I'm going to check my cell phone to see if it's down. If all of it is down together, then I'm going to take for granted we had an EMP. And on top of that, if we did, dude, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here in my house because the number one mistake is people's going to be outside.
Oh, yeah.
And let's say the not so nice people, you're going to run into them.
Yeah, and that probably won't happen right away until it sets in and people start freaking out that there's no power, there's no vehicles or nothing like that.
Susie D, EMP, would walkie-talkies work? This is what I'm gathering. If it's electronic, it will not work, period.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of the matter is, we've not had an EMP. Nobody really knows. And these Faraday cages that everybody says would work, again, we've not had one to test. Nobody has tested. They're not guaranteed right now.
Yeah, it's okay to purchase these things, or some people make them out of microwaves, but I've seen some of the microwave theories not so much pan out, because if your house is not grounded good, because that's where the only reason a microwave would work, because it is shielded from the inside from going out, but not from coming in. So it's hard to say if it will work. And it's just like the bags and things you get, they say it will work, but they can only test in theory. They can't actually test it, because it's not something that you test for.
The only way I can say to test it, and it may not
right there. And that was telegraph lines.
Yeah.
Do you think about the difference in a telegraph than all the stuff that's out here now?
And that was what, back in the late 1800s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Put your cell phone in a microwave. Call it from another phone. If it rings, I don't think it's going to work.
Oh yeah, definitely. And some do work and some don't, and that's it's kind of scary, because it's supposed to hold in radiation, those the rays that heat your food up. Now, if some work that will cut the signal off, and then some don't work, you can actually call your phone and it rings. It's like, is that microwave really safe?
Well, now, back quite a few years ago, they done a test on a lot of microwaves. It was a lot of it was leaking radiation from inside outside.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I don't know where you can go buy a device to check that with, or what it's even called. Hello, Bluegrass sweetheart. But check into it.
Oh yeah, it's good to test it too, just to test. See if it does work. Just make sure you don't turn the microwave on.
Lake Ferry, I don't see why not. Would the bottom of the ocean work?
For what?
Let's say throw shit in a paint can that you want to save.
No, it goes through water.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, water acts as a conductor.
Well, I was wrong again.
We have subs. The newer subs are
protected.
they say they're protected. I'm not saying they aren't or they are, because again, it's something you can't test. And I do know the military is now using generators that are supposed to be protected. So if something does go down from an EMP, they can start these up and won't be affected if they get hit again. And like they have the radar stations and stuff that are protected, because they have they have drones that have little EMP blasts that they fly over certain areas and do that.
Like,
But then again, that's the thing. You don't know how big the EMP is and how it, because they have really big ones that will cover over 1,000 miles.
well, is it true the higher up it goes off, the more square miles or footage it can cover?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because if you have a mountain that is a certain type of like granite or
Peanut, really?
it won't go through certain things. And there are still mines and things that they do station things at that are supposed to be protected again. And it's hard to say if one thing is protected over another one.
Now, I like the way Robert Bates worded this. There are ways to make containers that may work, but no way to be sure until after it happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of places where they have a big valley over there, and they have things over there.
Oh, they got hollows over in there also.
Well, that's kind of,
Yeah.
I didn't go way southern for that. I just said valleys.
Hey, bluegrass sweetheart, how about sending me 3 or 4 pokes?
But other than, you found out that there's been a EMP, and you said you're going to stay in. What preparations would you do to make sure that your house is going to be safe?
I refuse to literally answer that one, but I'll tell you like this.
Well, I mean by, your doors and windows and things like that. I know you have protection.
You got to remember, I got a lot of wood down there. Okay, I'm a woodworker, and I still got let's say 6-inch wide boards down there, probably about 20 foot long. I've got hand saws. Every one of my doors is going to be bolted, let's say, from the inside, and so is my windows. If they come in, they're going to work for it. But as they coming in, it's like a shooting gallery at the carnival. I'll put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we right now, I'm looking at maybe 3, 4, 5 months that we can hold up. But after that, I'm going to have to go out. And hopefully it's done calm down a little bit. But just because it's calmed down, don't mean you can walk out there, go bopping around. You got to stay alert. More than
What would you do?
biddly bopping around.
Oh, dilly bopping. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what I heard.
And you got to remember, when I'm talking, I'm liable to come up with a phrase I've not even heard before.
That's Jeff.
And I don't think I've ever used that phrase. Damn, chalk one up for me tonight.
And during this time, there wouldn't be you wouldn't get in trouble for accidentally placing a board with nails by your windows and doors.
That's on the outside.
Yeah. I don't want to say the actual word for it, but you can kind of get where I'm going with it. Instead of bears, you would deter other critters.
Dude, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna end up with some 20-penny ring shank nails. Okay.
I've seen bears step on those and not even think twice and keep on going.
Yeah,
those are, if you don't know what those are some big nails. They don't bend.
And ring shank, they got little grooves in it. You're not gonna pull it out by the head. You know. You're going to have to clip the head off and pull it completely through. Phil, are you right? I mean, that's going to be the times that we're going to be living in. Straight up.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to say this is what's happening. This is scenarios. This just to, keep your mind sharp on in case of that stuff happens, because you never know. Like the first one is a fire that's already, people's already done this. It's
look up in California, look up in Canada, look at I mean
Oregon, Washington,
that shit's already happened. And people who live out there will flat out tell you, if you living on the mountain and you got a fire coming at you going uphill, you're gonna have one hell of a windstorm coming at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hawaii.
Yeah.
And that's something to learn, because a lot of people passed. They went to the water, and that's what I was going to bring up with Jeff. They went to the water, and that's where they ended.
Because the water got boiling.
Yeah, well, that and oxygen. Because the fire eats the oxygen.
Well, it's like this, right?
It'll suck that oxygen out of your lungs.
Number one is I can't swim. Number two is they will be boats down there.
Yeah.
And it's easier to hotwire a boat than it is a car.
Okay, and our next scenario, and this doesn't, and this is like Jeff. I can't really ask him because it's very doubtful. As I say, civil unrest. It's from the stuff that happened from the George guy, where they protest and burnt police stations and stuff down. That kind of, where they say they're protesting, but they actually start burning homes and apartments and things like that.
Have you noticed it didn't happen in a small town though?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's why I can't really ask you, because very doubtful that would happen. But if you are in a city, and or it could be,
I'll put it like this right here. It may start out like that in a small town, but there are too many loaders and backhoes down here that can do holes. Okay.
yeah.
And they wouldn't think twice about doing something like that.
Well, that's the whole meaning of the song, and that's
Especially backwoods. Wasn't a woody area.
Especially, well, the wife said something, especially out in the backwoods. You know, I'm talking hillbilly.
Yeah.
In order to have lights on Saturday night, you got to flip the switch Wednesday. You know.
So you have lights.
Yeah. Or down around a moonshiner camp. You don't play around with them either.
Yeah. Well, if you're in that neck of the woods, you're in trouble already.
Yeah.
But like I said, if there are people that are in the city limits, and you're on one of those streets that they decide that they're protesting, and they start throwing things through windows, and that's the real scary thing is, how do you get out of that situation? Because it's real hard for depending on the states, because they have people that will sit in the middle of the street and won't let you go. And if you decide to play whack-a-mole down the road, then you get in trouble, even though you're fearing for your life. And like I said, there are some states that say motor on through if you're scared for your family or yourself.
Grace Johnson, let them come. I got a pot of boiling water for them. Weather Channel said you're being infested with blue craw crabs. Sandy M, and it was another person in here that was talking about baseball bats.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Baseball bat may do good for one, maybe two people. That's it. You know, the rest of them would rush you.
And I guarantee you, it runs out of ammo.
Yeah.
Eventually.
You know something, Trust? You just give me one hell of an idea. Pour gasoline out on the street.
Well, we can't talk about it, this kind of stuff, but
burn it. Bring it up. That's a scenario.
But like I said, it's something to think about, because and I wouldn't be too experienced in this. I mean, I'm in a small town, and it kind of would happen here, but not really. We do have sheriffs that are one way. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
That wouldn't go for it. but in a bigger city, that would be really scary, because trying to get out, if they're on your block and you have to leave, that's the scary part right there. And that's the thing. Would you be willing to motor on through, or would you wait for somebody to come help? If you know what I mean by motor on through.
The only thing I can say to that is, hopefully you got a plow in front of your motor vehicle. Because I may go down, but I guarantee you one thing, I will not be the only one.
Well, if you do notice that when you see people that get scared and they punch it, eventually people move out of the way.
Yes, they do. But you're going to have a few.
9 times out of 10.
They're not going to move.
Most of them do. It's that, because
I said a few.
Yeah. At first they don't, because they don't believe you're going to do anything. And then everybody runs.
Exactly, Robert Baker.
And they cry for the people they're protesting against.
Yeah.
Which you watch it a lot of times when they get on the highway and there's popo over there where they're screaming and hollering at them, and then somebody drives kaboom, 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 and then they're all, stop that guy, stop him, he's breaking the law, and they want help all of a sudden.
Well, let me put it to you like this. If anybody ever finds themselves in a predicament like that, do not trust the government, do not trust the police until you get away from that predicament. Plain simple.
Now, here's the next scenario.
I like the ditches and the holes better.
Okay, you're all out on foot. It doesn't matter. You don't have a vehicle. I don't know what stuff you have. You're bugging out. I don't know if you normally have a bug out bag, or you just have your pocketbook with you or whatever. And you are going somewhere, wherever it may be. You're getting away from danger from where you're at. And you come across somebody's stash. They have a bunch of canned goods, some water, and other things that you could use. And the question is, what do you do? And there are multiple, scenarios in this. So that's my question there. And I'm going to kind of, as I see your replies and stuff, I'll throw a curve in it somewhere. And go ahead, Jeff.
You're good at that. Throwing curves in it. If I'm out and I run up on a stash like that, I don't think I would take all of it to begin with. If it's just me.
Okay.
Look at it like this. That stash could be for a family.
Okay. Now, here's your curveball and Roberts.
Of course.
Here's the curveball. there's a guy in the woods waiting for you to eat this because he's got you know, the things that knock you out in it, and you down this stuff and you passed out. Now he's got all of your stuff.
Well, let's go another scenario. Let's say he poisons the food. Okay.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Not really.
Well, if you just get knocked out, you're still alive.
Exactly. But
now if you get poisoned, you die.
Right. So what's there to worry about if you get poisoned?
Well,
you ain't got to deal with what's going on.
You have a lot to worry about unless you're by yourself.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I thought if you're by yourself.
Well, you won't be, because you'll have your wife. So that now if somebody out there has a family of 5, they're going to be, 5 people going through there, and they're going to see this.
Well, now.
So like I said, it changes in everybody's different scenario.
Okay.
It could be if you're only by yourself.
Okay, let's go back to the first scenario. I'm by myself and I'm out in the woods and I run across a stash like that. I'd leave it alone because, like I said, I don't know. But you bet your sweet bottom dollar when it starts getting dark, I'm crawling my way back and I'm looking for movement.
Yeah. Now there are things like
Robert,
there's other things like you can pick it up, you can take it, and you can move it to a new location to where you know where it's at. That's another that's another part of the scenario.
Yeah. But the biggest 90% of stash is going to be out in the woods to begin with.
Or it could be this one.
What if they took your stash? Oh, damn. All I got to say is you better make damn sure you know what poison oak and poison ivy is.
Yes, more south than up here. I still have, actually, I've got one plant still growing back there in my compost bin. I only cut the tops of it off and leave it sitting there in case I need the root for something.
Talking about laxatives, take you some sassafras leaves and use that. That'd leave you smelling fresh. I mean, there's so many scenarios.
Yeah,
that come into play on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
yeah,
it could be no right way or wrong way of dealing with it, because it could go either way. Like you could just leave it and say it's somebody else's and mosey on. But down the road, you could have your stuff taken away, and then, well, I can go back and get that other stuff. There's different, ways of looking at it. And like I said, there could be somebody sitting there waiting for you, and there could be traps in there, because, and I probably shouldn't have said that word, but there's so many scenarios to any of these, and it depends on the people who are coming across that.
And another scenario, the person who planted it may not be kicking no more either.
Yeah.
like I said, there is a lot of scenarios being played in this. You know, you just got to do what you think is
Right.
the best at that time. You know, now people, I'm gonna say hunters. Okay, let's use that right there. A good hunter can tell if somebody's walking around out there setting up a trap. Okay,
Yeah.
or I hate to say it like this, to where a city person who's never been out in the woods would have no idea what to look for.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. They wouldn't know if somebody walked right past them the day before or something.
yeah,
Just from, um, and one way I seen, and this was taught to me by uh, an Indian, and I would never in 100 years think of this.
exactly what.
He told me the best way to see if somebody's been through a certain area is lay it
Indeed.
on the ground and get eye level, and
Yeah.
you can see, if you look good enough, you can see a path where somebody has moving through. Even if you can go out in your yard, freshly grown or cut grass, and lay there, and you can tell if somebody's walked through it by laying right eye level with that grass, and you can see a pattern that goes through it.
Well, now I tell you something else too, and a sheriff taught me this trick. At nighttime, if somebody's messing around your yard, take a flashlight,
Oh,
lay it on, you know, about like what you said.
yeah,
And if there are indentions, it will show.
yeah.
You know.
Especially if it's a moist night.
I'm not going there with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust is right. Be damn wind, you'll smell them.
Yeah,
Lord,
that's
don't
true.
but don't wear no perfume or deodorant. That's the last thing you want.
And here's another good one, and this is a kind of, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't type situation. You're hiding out in the woods, and you find a water source. You don't know if you know you can't drink it. So the only way you have is to boil it. So you have to start a fire. Now, there's ways of starting fires that is less active than, or less noticeable, I'll put it that way, than others. You know, you can dig a hole in the, have one coming out the other side.
That's a Dakota fire pit, I think.
Yeah. And
the flames does not get high.
well, then you have the other issue. Why does some fires smoke more than others? I know there's people out there that know this. If you ever sit around a fire and it's going in your face and you're being blasted by smoke, there's a reason why the fire is, you know, or the smoke is coming out so much. It's because the moisture in whatever you're burning. If you have a very dry wood, you get hardly any smoke from it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you have another thing that you have to worry about, and that's smell.
Ooh, that smell. Well, let me throw another scenario in there for people.
And that's good right there too.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me throw a couple more of them up in there. Seeing as how you talking about the smell of a fire. Number one is, let's say it's damp. It's been raining. Do you know what type of wood to look for that you can burn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm pretty sure you do. Okay. And I was taught this also. There are certain types of wood to look for that can burn while it's wet. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you're out in the wood. Let's say all this shit just started. All right. You got food in a cooler or something like that. And you're out in the woods. Let me tell you this right here, real damn quick. If you are asleep, the fastest way to wake somebody up is throw bacon and a pot of coffee on. I don't care how many miles you are, you're going to smell it. You're going to start working their way toward that area.
Oh yeah. I like. One time I was at a campsite, and there was other campers and stuff all around, and I got up really early. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we were out there and we're really quiet and everything. And
That's
I got
big.
the fire going, and I was grilling bacon on a grill, and the drippings would go down in the fire, and you could smell it. And then I had the coffee pot going, and I was frying up eggs. And pretty soon, you seen the lights on these campers come on, and people come out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was waking everybody up.
Like I said, you cooking bacon, sausage, eggs. I don't know what it is. Coffee tastes so damn good
Oh,
on an open campfire than it does in your kitchen.
and this is a side note, but the smell of coffee. I was at the hospital today and was walking through this because I've only been in one end of the hospital, and I had to go get blood work done. So I was walking through, and I noticed there's a dang Starbucks inside the hospital, and that it did smell good. I'm not going to lie. That coffee smelled good because I haven't had coffee for a long time. And I go in there, and that's all I could smell the whole time I was in there was that dang coffee. I was ready to get out of there.
Well, you know, it's got to where I'm up to maybe a pot and a half, 2 pots of coffee a day. All right. I will not go to Starbucks and pay $5 for a cup of coffee. That's
that
bad.
would be very cheap. I think it's like $8 now.
Yeah, it's expensive nowadays.
I'm not paying that much for it. I'm sorry. You know, I'll go get a glass of water or something. And with that smell of coffee, that's what I'm thinking it is. Good coffee. You know,
No, I stopped drinking coffee because my blood pressure was 180 to 240.
Good Lord.
So they said I needed to cut caffeine out. And that was the easiest one to cut out was the coffee. But instead of drink coffee, I switched to tea.
Southern tea.
No, that's caffeine. Herbal tea.
I drink decaffeinated tea.
Yeah, but
I know I still got the sugar in it.
Yeah, well, that's not good either.
But to tell a Southern not to drink Southern tea, that's what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like saying not to have biscuits with biscuits and gravy.
Oh yes, official. You know, If you making biscuits, you better have sausage gravy or some type of gravy to go with it.
That's uncivilized.
Yes, it is. But now I will say this right here, and I've said it a time or two. And trust me, this is one time I'm not making fun of nobody. But if you live in the north and you decide to take a trip south and you order some sweet tea, your ass better be sitting down, because that first swallow you take, it's going to knock your sock slap off. It's going to be so sweet.
Does anybody know how much Starbucks coffee is?
Well, about $10. Who knows?
I wish my daughter was on here and my son. They could tell me. My son asked me, if I was to buy you a cup of Starbucks, would you drink it? And I said, nope. He said, but you're not paying for it. I said, that's true, but I may like it and end up buying it later on down the road. I'm not drinking. And I have heard so much stuff about Starbucks coffee that a lot of it is some of the worst coffee that you can buy for that price.
I freaked out for a second. It said 91,
Depending
but
on
that's the stock.
91.
I do see that. I think it's up to $3 for just a regular small
$13.
coffee.
2 medium coffees at Caribou Coffee is almost $13. Dude, I would turn my ass around and walked out. I'm sorry.
$6. Oof.
And that's the cheapest, huh?
a small one.
That's in New York.
Oh,
Yeah.
A cold Starbucks coffee is $6. Well, to begin with, I ain't drinking no cold coffee.
I didn't mind cold coffee. It was more of a, it's like, have you ever had coffee ice cream?
No. Yeah, wait a minute.
I don't know.
I don't think we have. But now I've tried some of that iced coffee that you get in the bottle.
Yeah.
My wife loves that stuff.
Vanilla.
Yeah, that's good. You can make it yourself, but
Dude, I took a swallow of it and got to gagging. I'm not drinking that shit.
Yeah, Frappuccino. Yeah, that's got like half of its sugar.
Yeah, the wife was sitting over there laughing her ass off because I was gagging on iced coffee. I started throwing it out the window. She said, ah! That was her. I don't see how anybody can drink that shit.
I love cold coffee.
Well, you keep it on your side of the room.
What's them mudslide drinks?
Mudslide. Now that's a new one I've not heard of.
I think they call them Mississippi mudslides.
No, I've heard
I can't remember.
Yeah. I'm missing
white chocolate macchiato.
Yeah, what great jam said. Speak English. We are Americans.
Yeah, I like White Russians, but I don't use vodka. I use rum.
Oh no, Smirnoff. That's the best.
I don't.
It was.
Me and vodka doesn't go together.
I can used to, okay? Used to. I could sit there and drink a whole pint by myself straight. No problem. And I would sleep oh so good.
Is it really coffee though? Is it? I mean, really coffee that they, or is it flavored?
Buy some at ABC store. Mississippi mud.
What is that? Kahulu?
Hulu.
It's Kahulu mudslides or something like that. It's a bottle.
Somebody else. We
Something
need
like
somebody else up in here that can pronounce these words. Now, frappuccino, never had one. Don't think if I cannot pronounce it, I'm not eating it or drinking it. God, look it up in dictionary. They'll tell you how to. Oh hell, I'm sorry. They don't have dictionaries no more.
I got a dictionary in there, but I wouldn't. And I don't think it would be an American dictionary. Not mine. It's because I've been too old.
Kahlua. Is that a Hawaiian drink?
Sounds like
it's like a chocolate, coconut chocolate thing.
Coconut chocolate.
It's great in coffee.
Oh, is it? It's a coffee flavored liquor. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now the chances are I get enough of that in me. I ain't gonna care what tastes like. Homestead nailed it. Unsweetened tea for a Southerner is just wrong.
From vanilla beans.
My God. Have you priced vanilla beans lately?
Oh yeah, because I was going to get because I've been wanting to make my own vanilla extract. I was like, I'm sticking with the phony stuff.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
One bean? What? About $10 for one bean now?
Yeah, if it's even any good, I don't want to spend $10 to find out.
Bunky has her dictionary.
Bunky also loves Trey. Wait, did burn it? Wait a minute. Trey loves her Garfield dictionary. Great Jams, I am so proud of you. I really am for teaching your youngins the right way. I'm glad to see somebody using a dictionary and knows how to use one.
They don't use them nowadays around here.
Is that Southwest California? I'm assuming with the SWC, or it could be Southwest Carolina, but no, it wouldn't be California because it's still light out there. The moon is the color of pea. Is it the full moon tonight, or was it last night?
I thought it was last night. Vanilla body wash is a steamy shower. Smells like coffee.
Oh, that's right. I asked this before, didn't I? Or Jeff did.
What?
The SWC.
Say
one of us asked about it.
Solar Warden Captain. Warden. Really? Hell, I can't even pronounce it fast. I got to slow my eyes and my mouth down to read it.
Vodka and vanilla.
Yeah, I don't like the vodka. That's why I always make my White Russians, if I have them, which I haven't had in years, but I always tell them use rum instead.
Great.
And I don't even know if it's still called a White Russian if you use rum.
That's racist.
It'd be a white Caribbean or something. I don't know.
Can you imagine going to a bar on the street, something in a neighborhood, and say, "I want a white Russian"? That's
Well,
racist.
I've ordered a white Jamaican.
What? That's a pretty good one. Because it sure ain't mine. White,
a white Cuban.
Or white Jamaican. Okay, y'all talking about the moon. I'm gonna have to go and see what piss looks like. I'll be back if I can see the moon if it's up high enough. No, it ain't up high enough.
Yeah, even my tinctures and stuff, I don't use vodka. I use rum. Even well, if I was going to make vanilla extract, I was going to use some spice rum to make it. Somebody, who was it that made it with spice rum? They said it was the best vanilla extract they ever had. Oh. Oh, Little Frenchie in Big Texas. Yeah, she made some, and she said that was the best vanilla extract she ever had when she made it from spiced rum. Yeah, disinfective. Yeah, it'd be good for that.
The only two types of liquor I cannot drink real fast is bourbon and that homemade hooch. I'd have to sip on it a little while.
Yeah, when in my younger days, we had one guy said, "Oh, I can down anything and this and that." So I went and got a bottle of Old Granddad.
That's almost as bad as Triple R.
And he spewed that stuff all over the place.
You should have bet it.
Yeah. They was used to all that, fancy drinks and stuff. Okay, now we'll go ahead and get to and this one is, you got to kind of read between the lines on this one, because when I say Marshall Dillon Lawman, you can kind of guess where I'm going with that, because they don't like you saying that on YouTube. Well, they don't like it being said anywhere, but
and don't nobody type it in chat either.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, but it has been declared, and you have a 5 o'clock curfew where you have to be in your house. And there's different ways that they do this. There are some where they have curfews, and there's some that they just block off certain properties to where nobody takes anything from them. Or there are some that lock the whole place down and you're not allowed out. And that's the thing is, everybody would have their own different version of this. Is if you lived in an area to where they did lock everything down, would you would you stay there or would you leave? Because eventually they will be coming around everybody's place, confiscating things that you would use to protect yourself. So that would be, would you stay there or would you leave for basically bugging out to another location? Jeff, you're muted, by the way.
Sorry about that. I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you knew you were muted or not.
I just forgot to unmute it. Let's go ahead and get something straight real quick. When Marshall Dillon comes to town, they have their own set of laws, like you said. They can come into your house and take whatever they want: food, clothes, bang, shoot them up, bang, bang, or whatever. They can take it, and they ain't a thing you can do about it. Now, I would hide what I could. And I mean, how are you going to bug out? Really, think about it. Because 90% of people,
if they would, you're allowed out at a certain time, but there's a certain time when it's curfew, there's nobody allowed on the streets. So if you was going to bug out, you would have to do it during that time. And again, majority of the time they say it is our own military, but there is another military that would come in if our military didn't want us to stand up against their own.
Me and you, we've had this discussion quite a few times. And my theory is this right here. Before that happens, we will be under, let's say, one world. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to have, I'm going to use this as an example. Another country that cannot stand the Americans, let's say Iran. They're going to have them to come in and police us because they're not going to have no problems with their finger, okay? And then we as Americans is going to be in other countries the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there is a group that it's called.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what that group is called because they're over there in Ukraine and whatnot right now. Yeah.
There you go. But cheddar prepper. Cheddar pepper prepper. I wish you'd change your name. He says, I'm not.
He even put a Mr. in front of it, so to help you out.
Nah, well, I can deal with the Mr. part. It's the other three I get tongue twisted on.
I got a tongue twister in my dictionary.
You know, I'm at the age right now. I'm not going to run. This will be.
And that's where it comes in is it would be different from everybody.
Yeah.
If you sit there had 5 kids in your house, it's a different story from you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
And that's where I like to get, chat involved in it, in that has kids and stuff. it's a whole different story when you have little ones around.
Well, let's just go ahead and flat out ask the questions. For people who has got kids living with them, what would y'all do?
Mhm.
You know, and I'm not trying to be a ass about it, you know, but you're going to have three types of people. You're going to have one type that don't care, another type is too old, okay,
Well, there's a lot of types.
yeah, disability, you know, who's confined to a wheelchair that really can't go nowhere, you know, and then you're going to have parents. Yeah, I said parents with youngins. And then you're going to have parents with youngins who's going to have a disabled person living with them. So therefore, what is y'all's scenario? What would y'all do? And quit using me as a guinea pig on this one.
And Harvest Mary Moon brings up something very, very good, because normally you would think that, but how many of our military are not in the United States right now?
Let's say this right here, okay? How many of our military's personnel complied? That right there ought to tell you a little something.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw a video where I want to say it was a female, and she was in the military. They asked her that, and she said, "I will shoot your ass." Plain simple. You know, so, but then again, for me, you got a Humvee coming in my driveway, and there's 3 or 4 of them in that. I step out, one of them takes a pop shot at me. I guarantee you, I'm taking 2 of them out.
Yeah, and that is true right there. Unfortunately.
That's what I meant. How many of them complied?
Yeah. Well,
It might be bulletproof.
Their head won't be bulletproof. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't go for the chest. There's one part of the body I go for with
I'm talking about the Hummer itself.
Talking about what?
The Hummer itself.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
really?
Hummer itself will be.
That's when the Twilight Zone came out.
Huh. You think about it, Twilight Zone covered a lot of weird aspects.
Yeah.
PNW. What did he say? Let me back up. Really? There's everything that has been asked up here. There is so many scenarios that can go that way. The only thing I can honestly say and feel safe about saying it is do what you think is right at that moment. And I promise you, everything's not going to be right.
Yeah, because every action has a
reaction,
opposite reaction.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm sitting up here and I'm talking BS about what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know if it got Bushcraft in trouble tonight, but I've said it before. I'm too damn old to run. I prefer to go ahead and get it over and done with, but I want it done quick, plain simple. And once my breathing quits, who gives a shit anymore?
Yeah, and like I said, it all depends.
Yeah.
What you
If I don't have youngins around, if I do not have other dependents.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Okay. That's one thing. But now if I do have other dependents I'm looking out for, you bet your sweet bottom dollar I'm taking care of them first.
Yeah, it's something that you think about, and you don't really think about it. Not too long ago.
Exactly, great.
Oh, this would have been 2008. A car on the side of the road. I don't know if they hit somebody or what, but it was on at the verge of catching fire, the front end of it, and there's a lady in there, and I'm assuming her kids, and I jumped out, and this is when it was only me to provide, for my kids and stuff, because they didn't have anybody else. And my normal reaction is to run in and help. And I hesitated. And that scared me when I hesitated. And I thought, I wasn't thinking of myself. I was thinking of my kids. And that's what made me hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
But I still went and helped. It wasn't a big deal, but that first run, you don't think, and you start running in, and it's like I hesitated, and that's not like me to hesitate to help somebody, and that got me thinking. You have a family, to protect, and this and that. And that's the thing. If you're by yourself, it's not a big deal. But if you have somebody else there that you have to protect and provide for, you think of things, it's totally different. Mm-hmm. That's like when me and Jeff talked a while back about shift comes and we're all bugging in and everything, and some lady comes to the house with asking for food, and she has a baby in her arms and stuff. What do? That's something hard to think about, because there's so many scenarios to that. You open the door and there's 5 guys rush in.
Yep.
You open the door and you give them food, and they come back once a week trying to get more food.
Or they come back and get more.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Or you just say you don't have food and they go away, and that's on your mind that a mother and her baby are starving.
That would be, that'd be hard to ask.
Yeah, that's something to think about. If you're in that predicament, what would you do?
Now, I'm gonna back up Chad a little bit. Donna D asked a question. Bushcraft and Bear and Chat, what do you do when a stranger armed? Now, does that mean coming in your house? Does that mean out on the road? Does that mean on your property? Can you go a little bit more into detail? Because, again, there's quite a few scenarios there.
Yeah. If it's on your property, if it's not pointed at you, I would bang bang at the feet, not hit the feet, but at the feet. And if it got rose up to meet me, they wouldn't be here anymore.
Well, see, Harvest Mary Moon's right, but let's put it like this. You got a group of people out there, what, 7, 8, 9 of them, and they all got rifles. But yet, they're going to send one person in to see if it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like I said,
there's a lot of movies that's what they do.
Donna D said, coming at my door.
Oh, yeah.
I would.
And if is this during shift where there is no rules, and I'll put it that way, rules, but you know what I'm talking about. Because
but you also got to look at it like this too. Even though we don't have rules down here, God still has rules up there. You will answer for what you've done wrong.
Yeah.
Coming at my door, I wouldn't do nothing unless he comes through my door. Okay.
Yeah, there's difference from what they call intent. Like if it's down to their sides or something.
Yeah.
It's not somewhat threatening, even though they shouldn't be carrying it coming to your door like that. But you never know. It could have been a stranger from down the road trying to help you out. There's somebody trying to break in your back door or something, and he's just carrying to protect himself.
Well, now Harvest is like this right here. You know, y'all could strike up a conversation, and as a possibility, it could be somebody you need, later on in the road. But you've got to look at their actions to tell what they're going to do. Exactly, Donna D. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because to begin with, my door's going to be locked. If he comes through that door, then his intentions are not good. Let me rephrase that. Their intentions are not good. Now, I've got a scenario for everybody. Shift is here. We are a couple of months in the shift. You've got a 14 and 15-year-old coming up to your door. They break into your house. All they want is food. They are not armed.
But it could be a setup.
It could be. What do y'all do?
There we go. Hey,
wait a minute. Hold on, Truss. You know who's got the banjano now, don't you? It ain't me. I mean, like I said, I don't care. Any situation can go different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it's just one of those ordeals. You have to be there. You have to see how that person is acting before you can make that decision. And there will be a situation where you've got maybe a 2-second where you have to make up your mind right there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why this whole the live is this way. Is there's no right or wrong. There is, but there isn't for tonight. It's just to get you thinking, like everybody's commenting and stuff that you would do this and you would do that, but there's always another scenario after that it could be like Gray said. It's could have been his parents or somebody telling him to come and scope it out.
See, 9 out of 10 people is not going to shoot a kid to begin with. And I'm gonna lay two scenarios on the line. Maybe he is carrying a weapon and you don't see it, and as soon as you turn your back, boom.
Yeah.
And
they will use it.
Yeah, maybe that kid is being sent in by other people out there. You don't know. And another scenario, and which is the truth, you're going to need people on your side, because if you're going to be a loner, you ain't going to last long. And if you've got too many people,
everybody's got to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Jeff's talked about this before. You have your own community, and somebody in that community decides they want to steal stuff. What do you do?
Don't go there with that one.
There's you kick them out.
You can't kick them out.
But if you kick them out, they know where you're at and all the stuff that you have. Now you could say, well, you string them up, but then again, is that the way it's going to be? Or you can say you can. There's tons of different scenarios for that.
There is, but it depends. Yeah, I'm not even getting into that one because me and you have, like you said, we've talked about this. You know where I stand on that.
Yeah, and it's we'll lock him up, and then you have to feed that person until you decide what to do with them, because this been what you call it, The Walking Dead. This was a season, I think it was season 2, where they saved a kid's life and took him back to the farm, and then they found out, oh, what we'll do, we'll drive him 50 miles away and then drop him off.
Yeah.
Well, they found out that he knew the people at the farm, so they had to take him back. So then their next decision was, what do we do with him? And then they decided to delete him, but they couldn't go through with it because you're supposed to be civilized people and whatnot. Anyway, there was a bad blood between Shane and what's his name?
Rick.
Yeah. So they went, that whole played out a different way, but that's the same thing though, is they couldn't go through with it. And they thought, well, what are we going to do? We're just going to, pop him in the head, or we're going to hang him from the rafters, and they all sat down and started discussing it. And the more they discussed it is, we don't want to be that, we don't want to have to go that route.
Yeah. Well, see, if you got a group, okay, and when I say a group, I'm talking 50 plus. I'm gonna leave it alone at that. Depending, y'all need a committee to make these decisions. Do not have an even person committee. Always make it an odd number, so that way there will never be a tie.
Or one leader.
Yeah. I mean, now you can have one leader in firearms. You can have one leader in over the food. You can have another one to cook it, but not just one person to do it all.
Yeah.
You know,
Because there's always going to be somebody that disagrees, and then that disagreement will start spreading, and then you'll have one side against the other side, and then you're in trouble anyway.
you'll have a free for all inside your camp. But now that one that you talking about, I don't even want to think about that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is hard. I mean, but if you watch that whole series, they change whoever's left of that in that series.
Yeah,
they change from the beginning and to the end. Toward the end, they pop. They don't even think about it. You know.
The one person out of that whole thing that I would be more scared of than worse than Rick Grimes himself was the woman. When somebody tried to hurt her daughter, I cannot think of her name. That woman did not play.
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
Her daughter.
Well, I call it her daughter. She adopted this girl as her daughter, the one that cooked the cookies.
Oh, Carol. Yeah,
Carol. That's the woman I would not want to cross, period.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she was badass with that bow and arrow. She was worse than Daryl. Or should I say better than Daryl? And if you notice, Daryl really didn't mess with her either.
Well, I'm surprised they never got together, but yeah.
I am too. Because there's quite a few times I thought they would.
Yeah. And I think that's the way they made it go like that. But Daryl had a soft spot for Carol. But he would have took Carol out if it was kids. He had a soft spot for kids.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Yeah.
Well, they both did, to be truthful about it. A lot of them did. But them two right there, when it came to kids, you might as well just go ahead and say good night, Irene. Because one of them's going to get you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty good, What Life. If you ain't watching it, you should.
I'm caught up on that. I'm trying to get into it. But
there's some you have to pay for. It's on the plus thing, but I didn't watch any of that.
Now mine's not on the plus. Okay.
Yeah. Just the regular. It's good for me.
I think I quit watching it about 3 years ago. Okay. And I used to be update on it. I mean, when it come on Sundays, I was right there watching it. But the last 3 years, I don't think I've watched a complete program on TV.
Yeah, I had to go back and watch it because I got sick of the whole Negan thing. They strung it out way too much.
They did.
But I went back and started over because, again, I didn't want to see the kid get it. Carl.
I just read chat here, and I want to say one thing right now. For the people who do believe, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't think y'all want to be around in this when it starts. Well, you might be when it starts, but y'all, I don't think people like yourself is going to see it to the end. I think you're going home before it gets real bad.
Yeah, have to be a lot of stuff just bam, 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 bam happen all at once.
Yeah, but my opinion, I really truly don't think it's going to happen until all the good people are called up yonder.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard a preacher say this, and I truly believe in this. A lot of people think that they are saved and they're going to go up there. They're not going, and there's going to be, let's say, bums, homeless people, where you wouldn't think would make it to heaven. They'll be the first ones to go.
Yep. But it's about that time, and I want to send everybody over. Make sure you head over and check out the Vineyard Chicks. They are going live tonight, and might get a sneak peek of a bunkie.
Now, are we going to hear her tonight?
Well, you didn't hear her Sunday?
I did.
You heard that, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame she can't be in the live, but she's there.
A matter of speaking, I can understand, but at the same time, it's not right either.
Yeah. I mean, there are kids that do some
weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff that they shouldn't be doing at their age, and they don't get in trouble at all. And
you've got a good Christian girl.
Yeah.
And they punish her.
Yeah.
Now you tell me
their father goes and talks to them, and everybody say, "Hey, we're here." It's not like it's the kids are doing it themselves. Their parents are there watching them and everything. It's weird.
Great Jam said she will be there on the 16th. KK will be 18. Then she will be good, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Is there, now look, out of curiosity, and I do not know, is there an age limit? Is the reason they don't want her up?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been through it with YouTube, so they know more than a lot of people with that.
Well, Great Jams, cover your ears for a second. Okay. YouTube can kiss my ass. I'm sorry. Okay, Great Jams, you can uncover your ears.
You're very welcome. I thought it was a good idea to have like a scenario type thing, just to get everybody's brain juices working. But let's all head over there. They're probably getting started right now. I'm gonna post a link again, and we will meet you guys over there. I'm not sure if I got anything Wednesday or not, so we'll have to see.
My stream Thursday, I think we'll take up where we leaving off now.
Okay.
Keep it going a little bit. And do you know, we didn't talk about food this time.
Well, of odd things that we talked about drinks.
Well, yeah, but man cannot live by drink alone. Him or she has to help. All right, I'm gonna shut up.
We'll catch you guys later. Thanks everybody for hanging out.